So in an attempt to avert the looming government shutdown, Republicans proposed a spending plan. And suffice to say, this just absolutely rips the mask off of them. This is vicious, brutal, barbaric, insane. These are words that come to mind when describing what their proposal is. This is from reporting from the Washington Post from Jeff Stein. So under their spending plan, 1 million children will lose food help. 20,000 vets and 300,000 families are going to lose housing aid. 60,000 seniors lose Meals on Wheels. There's an 80% cut to low-income schools, more on that in a minute, and a 70% cut to home heating assistance heading into winter. So basically the only thing that they leave untouched is the military. And even that, some vets are going to be struggling. But in terms of funding the weapons of war and the endless wars, that they're all on board with. Okay, let me give you some more. Again, directly from Jeff Stein here. We went through some of this already, but 1 million low-income mothers and young kids excluded from nutrition aid, 70% cut to home heating ahead of the winter months, 80% cut to money for schools with poor kids. He continues here. Impact hard to evaluate because GOP plans keep changing, but experts' best estimates include hundreds of thousands losing housing support, millions of students see Pell Grants reduced, tens of thousands affected by Meals on Wheels cuts. Complicating the GOP's math is that they are simultaneously insisting on shielding the military, Homeland Security, and veteran benefits from cuts. More here. So there's a 59% cut to the money that ensures our drinking water is safe. So they say, again, more about the low-income neighborhoods and their schools, 80% cut, or $14.7 billion worth of cuts to be exact. The Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, that's the WIC program. It's basically like baby formula for babies. And under this, they say it would be a cut between 56 and 70% for roughly 5 million recipients. So in other words, we don't care if babies starve. That's what the Republican spending plan says. I mean, that sounds like hyperbole. It sounds like an overstatement. But when you're talking about cutting WIC for between 56 and 70%, that's astonishing. The Social Security Administration would be cut by $183 million. $183 million. And they say the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act Youth Employment and Training Grant Program would be eliminated. That's a cut of $1 billion. And what that program does is it helps youth who face barriers to employment by providing funding to states and local areas to support job training and employment services. So in other words, basically a job program for younger folks. Axe that completely. Who needs that? Now, I told you we'd go back to the school thing in just a second because I want to show you the extent of these insane cuts that they're proposing. And by the way, if we're the Democrats should have their talking points. They should be hammering away on the right over this. I mean, everybody knows it's going to be the Republicans who are responsible for a looming government shutdown. Everybody knows that. But let's be clear about what they're okay with, what they want to do in order to avert the shutdown, and that includes putting a middle finger up to every working person in this country. All right, more. The House GOP shutdown demands include gutting billions from the Department of Education, costing over 200,000 teachers their jobs. So basically, they're holding teachers in this country hostage over the government shutdown. They say, oh, you want us to fund the government? Well, in order to do that, you must agree to fire 200,000 teachers. What else is there to say about this? I mean, we covered the Republican plans for if they win in 2024. It's called Project 2025. You had dozens and dozens of right-wing think tanks get together and come up with their wish list of here are the things we have to do. And it's astonishing. It's basically fully implement what's called the unitary executive theory of power, which is the president is basically a dictator. He can do what he wants. And totally gut the administrative state in every way, shape, and form so that there is no more regulatory oversight to big business. This is what they want. This is what they're calling for. And now you see in their proposed spending plan, they're already bringing that into fruition. Basically, everything that's not bloated, colossal military spending, they're put it on the chopping block, get rid of it. We don't need it. Who cares about women, mothers, children, poor people, teachers, etc., etc. So, look, yet again, this is another example. There is no false equivalence anymore. There is no false equivalence anymore. This is just one side being absolutely barbaric and like Neanderthals, and the other side being mildly disappointing from time to time, but still largely not insane. That's what we're looking at here. There's no way around it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.